Top 10 Terrifying Mysteries of Bermuda Triangle. Number 10. Flight 19. The terrifying tale of Flight 19 is yet the most disturbing cases in history which surrounds the Bermuda Triangle. In December 1945, a group of 5 U.S. Navy Avenger torpedo launchers, collectively known as Flight 19, took off from Florida for a training session only to face compass malfunctioning and giving erratic readings. They contacted the base for help. The more they searched for land, the more further they went in the ocean. The captain's last words were heard preparing his crew for an ocean landing due to their running out of fuel. All 14 airmen on the flight were lost, and so were the 13 crew members of an airboat subsequently launched in search of Flight 19. Despite massive ocean and land search, no bodies or wreckage has ever been found. Number 9. Carroll A. Deering. The Deering was a 5-mast commercial schooner and the most written about maritime histories in the world. Deering sailed out from Virginia to Rio de Janeiro in August 1920 to cargo coal. It reached its destination unscathed in the September of the same year. However, the return voyage proved to be fateful when the schooner was lost and later found run aground near North Carolina, in January 1921. When the rescuers boarded her, they found it to be nothing but a ghost ship. The ship's log, crew and navigation equipment were all gone. Even the 2 lifeboats were taken. No official findings on the fate of the crew and cause of the incident could take place despite the extensive investigation by the U.S. government. Number 8. The Ellen Austin. The Ellen Austin was an American schooner plying between London and New York over the Bermuda Triangle zone. Do not worry, nothing happened to her. In 1881, during one of her routine trips, the ship passed across another ship sailing in a good speed. When its crew boarded to salvage this unnamed floating mass, to their shock, there was not even a single soul on the ship. The captain decided to sail it to New York alongside their own ship. The 2 vessels set the sail smoothly until a huge sea storm separated them. The unnamed ship was never seen again. In 1944, a retired British Navy officer wrote that it was again found by Ellen Austin, sailing erratically and no one on board. It disappeared again, leaving no clue behind. Whether his writing is true or not, mystery of the ghost ship has never been solved. Number 7. Witchcraft. Witchcraft was a 23-foot cabin cruiser sailed by Daniel S. Barak from Miami along with a passenger on December 1967. They thought they could get a view of Christmas lights far from the shore when Daniel called the Miami Coast Guard around 9 p.m. to report that he had hit something from below and needed a tow. The assisting vessel reached Daniel's destination in 19 minutes, but there was no sign of the yacht, neither him nor any debris. Over the next 6 days, 39,000 kilometers of ocean were searched for a clue, but nothing was ever found. The Witchcraft has also been believed to have fallen prey to the odd forces of the Bermuda Triangle. Number 6. SSL Faro. SSL Faro was a cargo ship 790 feet long. Its route was charted right in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle. It departed to its ill-fated journey in September 2015 from Florida to Puerto Rico carrying a total crew of 33 including women. A tropical storm was reported, but it was hundreds of miles away and easily negotiable by such ships. The route charted to the ship would later clear path for the ship away from storms, so there was nothing to worry about until Mother Nature unleashed herself, transforming the tropical storm into Category 3 hurricane with waves 40 feet high. The last communication received from the captain was that the engine has failed, there is no power, the ship is tilted on one side and they are taking water. However, he said that the crew were able to contain the flooding and everything was under control. After the message, communications fell silent, like forever. Few weeks later, El Faro was found sitting upright on the seafloor in the pitch darkness at the depth of 15,000 feet. The seabed was littered with debris, but not even a single trace of the crew was found. Number 5. Douglas DC-3. Douglas Dakota or DC-3 has been one of the most reliable aircraft ever designed. The flight of Douglas Dakota took off in December 1948 from Puerto Rico heading to Miami. The weather was normal with only 20 minutes to go before it reached the destination. However, the plane disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle area along with 28 passengers and 3 crew members on board. Despite the waters surrounding the location being crystal clear, no debris or a single trace of the plane was found. Whatever happened to the flight, happened really quick, leaving no clue behind. Number 4. Trislander. Prior to the disappearance of the SSL Faro, the 3-engine Trislander is considered to be the most recent victim of the Bermuda Triangle. On December 2008, Trislander took off from Santiago for New York with 12 passengers on board, however it never arrived at its destination. Just 35 minutes after the takeoff, the aircraft vanished into the air, disappearing from the radar. Despite the massive search operations by the U.S. Coast Guard, not a person knows what happened to the flight and its crew. Number 3. Flight 441. Flight 441 was a gigantic carrier owned by the U.S. Navy. On October 30, 1954, while transporting 42 passengers including Navy SEALs and their families, the flight simply vanished upon reaching the region of Bermuda Triangle. Similar to many other incidents, there was regular communication initially, but later, all fell silent. The flight had life rafts which would have floated if the plane had ever crashed. Strangely, the pilot never even sent an SOS call either. Neither the bodies or the debris was ever found, nor any subsequent investigation indicated information about the sudden and unexplained disappearance of the plane. Number 2. The BSAA Star Tiger. The disappearance of this plane in January 1948 along with 25 passengers and 6 of the crew members is similar to that of Flight 441. The British South American Airways plane was routed to Bermuda from Santa Maria but disappeared somewhere in the Atlantic. The flight's operator requested and received the plane's position at 3 a.m. from Bermuda's radio operator. When it was contacted again around 3:50 a.m., there was no response from the Star Tiger. There were no distress calls. No one knows what happened in that plane or to that plane in those 50 minutes. The plane had simply vanished without a shred of debris. The people who went missing were never heard from again. Number 1. USS Cyclops. The USS Cyclops was a massive collier built for the US Navy before World War I. In February 1918, the ship left Brazil headed for Baltimore full of cargo. It never arrived. She had 309 people on board. Following the disappearance, a massive search initiated across the entire route in hopes for some kind of trace. It was also speculated that a German raider or a submarine had hijacked or sunk it as it was wartime, but Germany denied having any knowledge of it. The Naval History and Heritage Command assumed that the vessel was struck by an unexpected storm, but what truly happened to the USS Cyclops is a mystery, as it was, and remains to this day, the largest human loss in non-combat vessel in U.S. naval history.